Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Perception of Time, Tales of the Road. My next guest is going to be Stavros Giannopoulos from Atlas Moth. We go back to 2014 when we played Southwest Terror Fest in Tucson. We played on the same night. It was electric. It was a good time, and we've stayed in touch ever since. He'd always been a big supporter of Destroy Light whenever we played in Chicago, and as soon as I found out that Atlas Moth were getting back together and about to go on the road with Royal Thunder, who are homies, I was like, I need to have them on the show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Cue the music.
All about
Well,
consent nowadays. There we go.
consent is
That's
now
right.
live. And we are here with Stavros of Atlas Moth and
Hello.
Motherless. And hey, man, it's great to see you. It's
Dude,
been a
for
long
real.
time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, man. Like, all of a sudden, like, I feel like I'm re-entering the world. I'm like, oh, I know. I have friends everywhere. It's good to reconnect with everybody,
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on is because the Atlas Moth is making its way back
Yeah.
in, and you guys announced playing Prepare the Ground Fest and going on tour with Royal Thunder. Do you want to talk about getting back together and
Yeah,
doing it all
absolutely, man.
again?
I actually, I did a podcast. I'm kind of a podcast slut. I'm all about this kind of shit. Like, and I could talk forever. And it's funny, I just did a podcast recently and I was like, well, like, you're the first person to interview me. So I guess you get all the hot fucking, fucking blabbermouth fucking headlines you can get out of this. It's the first time I'm saying anything. And oddly enough, we just want to talking about action figures and comic books for a while. So we got to tell nothing, but we don't know, man. So we haven't played anything since like 2019. And we were writing a fifth record. And it was like coming along. We had like 3 or 4 outlines of songs, and then this thing called COVID happened. You hear about it? Fucking sucked. Yeah, it
Yeah,
may have, it
actually, I
may have
did.
come to your part of town too. It was awful. And like, so like Andrew, who plays synth and guitar, he owns a fucking bar. At the time, I was invested in a pizza place. Dave Cush, who played guitar and did the clean vocals, he was running like a new agey kind of crystal whatever thing that he was doing online. We were and Beetle, our bass player, was employed as my head cook at the pizza place, right? So we're all real on our own. We're all industry people, So it's like our entire world plus our band was like highly affected, And I don't get me wrong. I mean, I know tons of people all over the place were affected different ways, but it's a fucking lot, And then there were points, man, during all that all of us were like, "Hey, man, I can't pay my bills. I can't really afford to like spend 3 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours out of my week right now playing music, showing up to practice, paying for this expensive ass place where I can't even make my own house rent, So it's kind of, and, like I said, nothing was really happening, we were kind of just taking our time with a record, it was nothing, we hadn't stopped in, whatever, 12, 13 years at that point. So it just kind of naturally just stopped. And at one point or another, me and Mike Nietzsche, our drummer, we were just like, fuck it. Let's go learn some covers. Recorded 4 drum tracks, some covers with Sanford. I think it was probably like 2022, maybe. And we're like, all right, everybody, let's start doing some, like whatever. And it just kept getting pushed off by Dave. He was like, I'm not ready. We got yada. And he kept pushing it off. And we were like, all right, well, cool, man. Like, none of us are dying to do anything right now. It's not like we're all feeling hell inspired or anything, but, and, we want to make sure Dave was a part of all of it. And then like a year and a half ago, maybe, like everyone stopped hearing from him. He won't answer any of our texts, any of our calls, anything. And we had we had talked loosely, you know, like there was some, you know, I mean, like we've been together since we were in our early 20s. Dude. There's some things that hash out, you know, some things didn't quite, you know, end properly and or you know, whatever it might be. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But we got together where I was kind of like, hey man, like we fucking put a lot of fucking work into this goddamn band. You know, and I don't think any one person should really dictate whether or not it continues, you know, after being put off by that person too, right? You know. So I was like, why don't we just get back together and carry on, you know? Like who gives a shit? Like, and everyone was like, right. Bands do that. They replace members, even singers, and they have very successful careers. I'm like, yeah, it's like not like, you know, we've had our fair share of successes, but it's not like we're Mastodon even who's in this position now where one of their guys is gone. Dude, you know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, that's gonna be way harder. You know what I mean? Like, we still got plenty of room for upward trajectory. You know, so it's like they always try it with somebody else. So actually, you know, we've been together for so long. It's very much family, especially between me and Beetle and Andrew, since we were all the original members. You know, and we were like, who do we get? You know, I mean, there was some obviously some fantasy booking in that. There was some, ooh, I wonder if we could like, or what do we do? And we just want to talk to you. Andrew's brother-in-law is Marcus Eliopoulos, who's from Stabbing Westward. And right. And
okay.
back in 2012, when well, Andrew actually had double hip replacements before he was 30. It was crazy. And we did a couple days, like some like South by Southwest touring and like some flyouts with Marcus filling in for him on keyboards and guitar. So like he's literally family, you know. And it was kind of like, let's just play with Marcus. That sounds awesome, you know? And like, with all due respect to Dave, he was definitely the most diva-like as far as touring goes, you know? So like, there was always a thing where like, four of us are having like time of our lives being fucking idiots, you know? Like, oh, look at what kind of chips I got. Oh, you know, like, look, did you see that? You know, like we're just having fun, just living, you know? We live to fucking play, you know? And there'd be Dave who'd be stressing about something and I don't want to take away or try to trash or anything, but it was kind of the thing where like, I wonder what it's like going on tour with like a bunch of dudes that are having fun. That might be fucking awesome. All right. So, you know, it's not like we didn't try to include Dave at all. I really, really wanted to, but I haven't heard from him. Literally, I've been texting him for fucking almost 2 years now. So, that's, yeah.
Wow.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We got the offer for Prepare the Ground. He came through and KW, I believe, right, is the guy that runs that. He really made me feel wanted. You know, he knew how to fucking talk to a girl, make her feel pretty. You know, so I was like, man, we should do this, man. Like, why not? Like, let's go play. Like, it was funny, you know, because at first I was like, let me make a pitch to these guys, and I was like, we should get back together and do some dates, man. Let's fucking go play this fucking awesome sounding fest in Toronto. And it was funny because like everyone wanted to be like, oh, let's get together and talk about that. And then like the day we were supposed to get together, I remember being like, all right, man, like what time are we getting together? And everyone's like, fuck getting together, just confirm it. You know? I guess we're fucking doing it, man, you know? So
Nice.
yeah, you know, I mean, that basically brings us up to speed now, you know. We've just been rehearsing and kind of feeling it back out, getting our feet wet again, you know. So it's been really fun, really interesting.
That's great. You know, the cliche saying is true in most cases. Things happen for a reason. Like, you know, like maybe he's just
Yeah.
over it. And I mean, if you get, and it's like you guys tried.
Yeah, no, dude, like
It's not like you didn't try.
We put our noses to the grindstone, dude, and especially like, dude, like I can never take away anything that Dave contributed in the last 17 fucking years, man. It's been 17 years. It's nuts, you know. Like, well, yeah, we gave it a shot, and if it's not for him, it's not for him. I've like in the last say 5 years sat here and I'm like, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that, and like, you know what, dude, it always just comes back to music. I can't help it, you know. It's like I just
Always
can't.
does.
So it's
Always
like
does.
you know, like just recently, I started dating a new girl after being with the woman for 12 years. You know, we've been together for like almost 2, and it's funny because she's like, I think you should probably just do music. You should probably focus on that shit. It's like, all right, as long as I'm getting the support at home to go ahead and do this, you know, it's like I don't mind throwing myself back into it. It's not like we didn't do anything. We did some stuff, so people seem to care still. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I saw that you over the last couple of years, you started Motherless. That was kind of like a way to get back into music while you were still waiting on what was going on with
Right. So
Atlas
actually,
Moth,
so
right?
Marcus actually started a band called Black Cross Hotel with Mike and Andrew. And me and Beetle went inside Iron Maiden, and like we were drinking some beers, having a good ass time. You know, at the end of the day, we're like, wait, why don't we just start a band? You know,
Oh
and
yeah,
then some buddies of ours were in a band called Without Waves. Gary, you know,
yeah. I
yeah,
know those guys. Those are all
yeah,
good
dude.
people.
Gary's in like Trouble now, the band, not legit actual Trouble. And Anthony's like one of the most talented guitar players ever fucking met. And we were like, let's just get together and jam. And it's like all of our other bands are so interested. Let's just do Cavemen. It's like Motorhead. That's it. You know, I kept saying it's Motorhead, it's not Hawkwind. It's Motorhead, it's not Hawkwind. You know, like, and we
Yeah.
kind of got the assignment, not really, but that record we finished it last year, and it's just been taking forever to get everything together. But it's supposed to come out September 5th on Prosthetic, so I'm pretty stoked on that too. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
sweet.
super pissed,
Awesome, man.
really fucking angry stuff. It's great. It's a lot better than like all the hope.
Yeah, two different.
Yeah. It's like yin and yang.
Yeah, two different dynamics.
Over here, I have some
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of hope. Over here, I have none. But both sides.
Yeah, I had Destroyer Light. Now I have
Yeah,
Temple
you're
of
like,
Love.
wow, that's
So
actually
it's like
that's actually way
destroyed
more on brand, you know, like. Well, yeah, no, you get it, man. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, and you've been around for all this shit too. Like, you've had member changes, you know, happens, man. You know?
Oh yeah, it's par for the course the longer you're together. And sometimes when you are family for so long, sometimes when a change comes in, it can actually like elevate the dynamics a little bit better and kind of get the creative juices flowing, and it kind of like helps everybody move forward. And then you don't have that stone. You felt like you're being
Right.
dragged
No,
by a
that's a great
stone,
analogy.
and you can like break
Yeah,
it.
that's a great analogy, man. Like, I
Yeah.
honestly, we've talked about this, you know, like, Coma was a really hard record to write. It took a lot out of me. Like, I was like very much like, not everything that we write is worth it. You know, like it's gotta be fucking great. You know, I was in my Brian Wilson phase of probably drug use and psychopathy, just like freaking the fuck out about everything, be like, no, you know, and I think it worked. It came
Well,
out awesome. But then writing the next record, I was like, I definitely feel like excited to write. Whereas last time I was like, man, I'm not as excited to write this. Like I really put a lot of effort into Coma, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. So now I feel more ready. I'm open to some fresh blood. You know?
that's awesome. Yeah, I totally understand that. I get that perspective. Uh,
Yeah,
Very
man.
much
You know?
so. Especially when you've been around a long time, you've made several records.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
start thinking
I
about that shit.
always, you know, so like being from Chicago, I've been around like some fairly successful bands over the years. Like in my high school years, a lot of new metals coming out of here. And I always remember someone telling me, like, you know, you have your entire life to write your first record. You got 6 months to write your second. And now I'm on record 5. And I'm like, okay, anybody got anything to tell me? It's like, please, someone that's written the 5th record, give me some advice about how to look at this, you know, like Mr. Hetfield, you know, like tell me about fucking the Black Album, please. Cause like I'm there in my career and I've never known anybody that got here. So like I'd really appreciate some help, you know, like, but weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Almost think of it as a clean slate.
That's kind
a
of how I'm
rebirth.
looking at it, man.
Like,
It feels just like it's funny. Like we got together, we've jammed I think 2 or 3 times now. And the first time we jammed, like we were playing a song, and after the song, Andrew was like, "You know, it's funny." I was like, "We were listening, and I was like, man, those vocals sound pretty good." And then he's like, "Wait, that's not even Dave," you know. So it's like that's exciting, you know. Like I said, we all know Marcus. We've been on the road with Marcus. He's a fucking hilarious dude. You know, he's also Greek. How can I hate him? You know.
yeah, exactly. When I heard the last time, I was like, "Oh, look, another Greek,
exactly,
another
yeah.
Greek."
So like, yeah, I'm excited. You know, like we're having a really good time. It's been really fun, and we're super excited to get out on the road. I can't believe I'm not coming to Texas. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah, I was disappointed. You gotta redeem
well, so
that
we're
next
trying
time
to
around.
anchor things around fests. So
That's the way to
you
do it
have
these days. It's the best way to do
you
things.
have to,
Exactly.
man. You know, give me that one
Um,
thing that's like, all right, now it's worth it. And I'm gonna do it. You know, and then also kind of keep it under 2 weeks. So like, you know, all of us like, so what? Okay, Andrew, Mike, and Beetle are all married. Mike just had a child. Marcus has a child, like, dude, we're not 25 anymore, where it was like, hey man, we're to tour for 8 weeks. Like, I'm not going to pay my electric bill, I'm not going to be here. You know, I can't tell you how many times me and Dave Cush lived together for about the first decade of this band. I can't tell you how many times there was like, come home from tour and you're just like, no electric, like, bummer, like, and it's Friday. This is like before smart meters turn it down 30 minutes. You're like, well, I guess we gotta go to the hotel room if we want to check our email over here because there's no email on my phone yet either. It's like, this sucks. Yeah.
Oh
But,
man.
the old
the old
days.
days. Yeah.
This is like, dudes older than us
So-
bitching about like using like Google Maps. Like, well, my day I had to use an
Yeah,
atlas. It's
exactly.
like, this is the same shit.
Wait to use actual maps, and we had to go to payphones.
Yeah, or booking
and
a
all this
tour
stuff.
over fucking snail mail. Fuck, dude, like, they had
Yeah.
no,
Can you
no.
imagine?
I toured the first time when I was I booked the tour basically through mp3.com with my high school band, right?
Yes.
And we used map class, like, we had it all printed out. We had like book fucking printed out directions. Like, what the fuck? I couldn't imagine not having a fucking GPS. Be like, turn left 300 feet. I was fucking lost.
We're in Wichita, Kansas. We got about 8 hours to get to Denver. Better call the guy on this payphone at this shitty gas
how would you
station,
even
right?
know how far you're actually away? You know what I mean? Like, you're living there, like, you had to bust out a fucking ruler to use that little like thing where it's like, okay, a half an inch is 500 miles. Like, what the fuck? Sounds insane. Just stay the fuck home. I'm over here now. I'm talking to you in Texas, and I'm in Chicago, and I'm like, this is crazy.
I know
It's
technology.
wild, man. What a world.
What a world.
Like, I remember, like, I was trying to figure out, like, oh man, do I need like worry about getting charged a bunch going to Canada and using my cell phone? And everyone's like, that's fine nowadays. Don't worry about it. Just it'll be good. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I remember we toured with Coalesce in like 2010, maybe 2009. I remember one of them got lost because their GPS was fucking up in like Montreal or Toronto, and they turned on their phone and they got charged like $800 for using like, like 2 gigabyte of whatever, like things have changed.
Damn.
It's wild out there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, speaking of tours, do you have one of your fondest tour memories?
Oh, geez.
Something that really sticks out to you that is a very memorable moment.
Always. There's like a couple times, like, without even getting into like more sappy stuff, like a fun time was on Gojira and Devin Townsend tour, which is like the coolest fucking tour ever. We played the Fillmore in San Francisco, which is like fucking legendary. You're seeing like pictures of like covered in chandeliers, and like everyone from Hendrix to Pink Floyd to Led Zeppelin has been on that fucking stage, and you're just like, holy shit, man, like, fucking, I made it, and not only that, it's like a sold out gig, and I had heard before that James Hetfield was coming, who's like my all time be all, like,
shit.
Gojira had been busting our balls a bunch on that tour, just playful kind of like big brother shit, and I remember them being like, oh, you better play good. James Hetfield's on the guest list, and I'm like, damn near shit my pants, and I'm like, oh, well, Dave Ed from Neurosis is on our list, and they were like, who's Neurosis? Like, can't even fucking win, and but I wanted to meet Hetfield, which is like kind of weird. It was whatever, kind of, I think, like, what am I going to say? Most of the things of my life, like,
yeah, it's like, are you gonna get all giddy and like
dude,
tell
you
them
know
everything?
this
And
as a dude, as a band dude, you know this. You're never gonna like, here's my fucking CD, giant rock star. I literally brought our. Like, you're gonna take this. I'm gonna watch you walk away with the motherfucker. Like, I just want to know James Hetfield touched my CD. And like, he did grab it. He goes, "Oh man, you guys are cool." Like, I keep seeing your guys' name in my XFM all the time in my hot rods, and I was just like. But the funniest shit ever was later, was me and like a couple of these from Atlas Moth and Dave Ed watching James Hetfield in an opera box alone. Air guitar along to Gojira, but like as James Hetfield. You know, like he's got like that crotch down, and he's like,
Yes.
you know, like, you know, it's like, oh, dude, this is crazy what we're seeing right now. You know, it's like, it's one of my fondest memories of being like, holy shit. I called my mom, you know, I was like, Mom, fucking James Hetfield's at her show. And she's like, fucking who's James Hetfield? You know, she was like, I was obsessed with Metallica growing up. I was like, what the fuck, Metallica? And she was like, oh, wow, that's fucking wild. You know, like you should talk to him about touring. I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, Mom. Like, yeah, yeah.
Hold on,
It's like,
Mom. Here's the
yeah,
phone,
what
Mom.
the
You talk
juice
to
for me, Mom?
James.
You tell him that I'm a real nice boy, and you know, I take care of. I do all my homework before I go out on the weekend, and you should take me on tour. That'd be fucking dope, Mom. There's there is another. So like we started. There's a lot of places that we never hit. I guess just being from the Midwest or whatever. You know, like I think it was New Mexico we had never played before. You know, we'd always kind of roll through it or whatever. Like on other tours, just never stopped there, and like so there's some spots where we were like getting kind of like we were being fucking jackasses, and we were putting celebrities, you know, like on our guest list. Like we played Albuquerque, we've never played there before, and like I said, Gojira was kind of like, who's on your guest list tonight? You know, James Hetfield. You know, like we put like in Albuquerque, we put like Jesse Pinkman and Walter White. You know, like shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember like we were playing Sacramento. When we were playing Sacramento, I'm like, dude, put down Chino Moreno +4. Like,
Yeah.
and like, dude, I remember like we got to Sacramento, and next door to the fucking, I think it's called the Ace of Spades. There was a coffee shop, and I go in there, I order coffee, I'm waiting, and Joe from Gojira walks in, and he's like, oh, fucking Chino Moreno +4, haha. And I'm like, oh, we don't know anybody here, we're just fucking around. It was more like pranking our tour manager, who was like awesome dude. His name is Taylor. He fucking is amazing. He's a great friend. And he goes, oh, yeah, well, we know Chino's not coming. He lives in fucking, I think he's living in like Oregon somewhere at that point. And he goes, and we know that Abe and Frank are coming. And I was like, you know, it's like California was like a dream situation that month, you know. It's like my favorite band of all time. And I remember we had the old Deftones shirt that was just a screaming cat. Like, so I redid the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have
of course,
that shirt.
Right? Like, so I just completely redid it, and I just got the same font. I just put the Atlas. You know, it's like that's where I learned. That's where I learned about parodies, dude. Like I remember seeing Deftones open for Pantera and White Zombie in like '96 or something like that. I think it was. And I still have it. It's like a double XL red hoodie that says Deftones in Ride the Lightning font. You know, it's literally where I learned it from. And I remember playing our set and looking up at the opera box or like wherever it was, the VIP area. And there's like Abe Cunningham is like air drumming along. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? You know, we went and like brought him a shirt afterwards. And they were like, oh, let's like, they got us fucking wasted. They wanted to hang out. They were like, we're going to send you a cease and desist tomorrow for that shirt, but like whatever. And we wound up trying to make an exit after like the fucking venue staff wanted to kick us the fuck out. They were like, get all these dudes out of here. We tried to like get away from Abe and Frank, like, let's be cool, you know? And then like they just jumped on our little school bus that we toured in, and they're like, we're going out. And we're like, fuck. And dude, we drank until like 8 a.m. Like we were driving through Sacramento. And like Abe is all like, that's fucking Chino's grandfather's like barbershop or whatever. This is like where me and Chino had our first apartment. And they took us to like this bar, and like, this is the bar Deftones made their first show at. And I'm just like, my mind is blown. It's been like, I've had like no sleep or chasing buses on this tour. And like all this is happening within like 48 hours. And my mind is just melting. I'm like, I'm dead. And this is a dream. But it's all fucking weird. But we wound up drinking with them and the brothers from Gojira. And then I remember like at 8 a.m., there's like motherfuckers going to work. Like people going to school, you know, we're like all standing on the street corner in Sacramento. We lost our place to stay, you know, because now we got to drive to like LA or some dumb shit, you know, like it was awful. Like, and I remember like fucking Abe Cunningham being like, all right, next summer, we're going to do this tour. It's going to be Tool, Deftones, Gojira, Atlas Month. I'm like, fucking put it in writing, motherfucker. But I'm not to say that into my fucking phone, you know? Like, fucking, I want someone to fucking notice this. You can say I'm still waiting for that tour day. That's
Yeah. Well, now that you guys get back together, it's now we
now
can make this
Deftones are playing
happen,
like
right?
stadiums, and I don't know how. I like missed something. Is that
I
weird?
know that
I don't
it's
believe it.
crazy. Yeah, they've.
Are they that big?
I'm actually I'm actually going to see them here on
It's Wednesday
Wednesday. I haven't seen them
with
in
Mars Volta, right?
yeah, I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yep, I've looked at the set list, man. It's a cool set
I
list. It's old
refuse to
school
look,
for the most
right? You
part.
know, like,
I will
did
not
you know
tell
that
you what it
Mars
is,
Volta is
but I
playing an
will tell
entire
you.
album all the way through that's brand new that hasn't come out? I'm like, what the
Yes,
fuck?
it sounds like
Yeah,
something
well,
they would
just
do
so I
though.
saw them on their first tour. It's like my favorite album of all time is that first record. And that's what they did. They walked out. It started with the first noises and it ended with the last noises and then walked off and that was it. The lights came up. Like it was like, what happened to my body? You know? So now I'm like, I'm really curious. I'm probably gonna wind up going, but it's at the United Center here, which is fucking huge. Yeah, Iron
Oh,
Maiden.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
the
a huge
Bulls.
place.
You know, like Iron Maiden didn't sell it out.
Yeah, they're playing at they just opened a new like stadium. It's pretty big place, and that's where
Yeah,
they're
you gotta let me know
playing.
how well attended it
Another,
is. I'm very
but yeah,
curious. Like I didn't
yeah,
really
I'll let you
care for
know.
Gore at all. That album. I thought their last one was okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's kind of like kind of. I mean, they really came into their own when they got when the Diamond Eyes, and then Koino Yoken had some good
absolutely.
stuff on it. But I think they've been trying to chase something, and they just need to say fuck it
Yeah.
and just write. And I think that's what they're trying to do with this new one.
So like
So we'll
it's kind of
see.
funny, right? Like I remember right when Gore was about to drop was when Steph Carpenter was like, I don't even like this fucking album. And I was just like, damn, dude, you know, like fucking why do you want me to buy it? You know, like I had it like pre-ordered in like every fucking color of vinyl and the CD. I'm like preparing a day, you know, to like sit down, light a candle, drop a fucking Neo fucking records. And then that happens. And then I was like, man, that's fucked up. And then I remember like maybe right after, I think it was right after, I remember listening to that record and being like, it's weird. It didn't feel right. When Chino said something like, no, in the 11th hour, they deleted the first track. And I was like, that, I'm terribly curious about that because like that's a track one band. You know what I mean? Their track
Yeah,
ones are
exactly.
fucking the best songs on the fucking record sometimes, you know, all the time almost. Like actually their first single. So I was always kind of like, what the fuck's going on here, you know? And I'm curious because I remember like when White Pony dropped, I downloaded up like Kazaa and it was that out of order. I hated
Oh
it, dude.
yeah.
I was like, this record fucking sucks. Too bad the Deftones are fucking garbage band now, you know? And I remember like still the day it came out, it's like 25 years ago now. I remember like the day it came out, I went to Best Buy because I went every Tuesday or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'll borrow the new Deftones record, give it another chance. You know, it was like 7.99 new release. I remember buying it and it started with that Sierra, and I was like, now I get it. You know, and it blew my mind. And it became like one of my all-time favorites, you know? Like, so I'm kind of wondering if like they fucked themselves on Gore. I wonder if that one track would have tied it all together, you know? Like,
They probably overthought about it. You know, it's kind of like the same position they were in when they did Saturday Night
yeah,
Wrist, which I mean that's actually become a favorite of mine later in
me
their
too.
career. Like at first, I didn't like I didn't like the production so much on it, but uh, I don't know if they changed the production without saying anything. But when I listen to it now, it sounds a lot different than it did
I
when it
remember
came
that
out
they,
to me, and it might just be
yeah, yeah, you may have
my
grown too, right?
ears.
You know, sometimes it takes like another
Yeah,
bad record or another different record that you liked by the same band, like go back and be like, I get this now, you know, maybe you worked in the right place. You know, I know that record is real disjointed too. Saturday Night
that's
Wrist being, you know, like
yeah.
I remember,
Well, they all weren't getting along and
dude, like the
stuff like
chorus of the
that.
first singles, like my friend said, fuck it, or was it, hey, my friends, they lack taste, you know? It's like,
Yes.
whoa, a bit on the nose, dude, you know, like, and
They're like, tape
yeah,
it, put it on the album.
first single, baby. I'm gonna play in a desert next to you while you sing it. You know, it's like what, dude? I'd be like, yo, go fuck yourself. You know? But he's not wrong though. Like they do lack taste. Yeah, a lot.
Oh yeah,
You know, even he does too, though.
yeah. He's like the only one
Yeah,
that
he has.
he has a more wide spectrum
But I
than
think
they
he's
do.
like
But But I mean, Abe's drumming can do
I don't give a
anything, though.
shit who you like. You know what I mean? Like we all have, I'm sure, terrible taste to a certain to somebody. You know what I mean? Like someone thinks that I have awful taste in music.
Yeah.
100%. You know, like yeah, exactly. They're
Same
not
here.
wrong
Yeah.
necessarily. They're just not right either. You know, it's
Yeah.
fine. You know,
Don't
yeah,
tell me what I
exactly.
should
There's no
like.
guilty pleasures. I'm just having a good time. You know, like I like Justin Timberlake. Leave me the fuck alone. You know, like, and I do.
Um, I was gonna. That was actually gonna be a question later on. Is like, what is the most surprising artist that you
It all
listen to?
it all
Would it be
depends.
JT?
Because like I'm like a huge hip hop head, which like you might gather maybe. Uh, I love a lot of Chicago drill, like the stuff coming out of the South Side here. That's all like wrapped up in the gang culture. I'm like,
Oh, I bet I bet that
dude, it's
stuff's
like
tough,
literally
man.
like you know, like we're talking like all these artists have come out and are dead, and they're all under 25. They're all
They're
already
already
dead.
dead. They
It's like so like I think that like we're like the same age, right? I'm like 42. Right? Like you're in that age range. All right, cool. So like,
42.
dude, like I
Yeah.
think that we grew
Yeah.
up like romanticizing like that dangerous rock and roll shit. Right? You know, because we both like stuff that's beyond our time too. Like I looked at that 70s stuff and be like, man, these guys were fucking crashing hotel rooms and blowing things up and you know, getting arrested crossing state lines
Yeah.
with drugs and be like fucking shit's wild west. Awesome. And then like I kind of grew up and then I realized that like these country guys before them in like the 60s were like the real fucking old school badasses. You know, and I started like doing like the
Oh
Cash
yeah.
and like the fucking like David Allen Coe and like, you know, like whatever, George Jones, all that shit. You know, I was like, these guys are hard, you know. And then of course, I always like gangster rap because I mean I grew up in the 90s, right? And like it was so fuck you, but like I never felt like there's more of a punk rock, dangerous, scary genre than Chicago drill. Like, and it's from here too, right? You know, like it's
Okay.
like I used to that whole Chirac series of like 10, maybe 15 years ago now, and it was super interesting and it was right on the precipice. And now it's like, dude, there's like some crazy shit. And these guys are literally fucking killing their fucking rival gangs and then just being like, let me go fucking rap about it. And it's like, this is wild. This is not. And the funny thing about it is that, like, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the north side. And people don't understand this. People just think that Chicago is just a fucking war zone. But, like, the south side is completely, Chicago's huge. You have no reason to ever be down there. You know what I mean? Like, there's no venues down there for rock music. It's very segregated. And, like, my family's from one of the neighborhoods called Inglewood. My mom grew up there. And it's like one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. I have no reason. I don't even have family down there. You know what I mean anymore. And it's like kind of where I'm from. It's really bizarre. And dude, like some of the shit is just wild, man. Like these guys live like in anxiety. You know, like they're constantly looking over their shoulders and they're just like literally killing each other and to rap about it. And it's silly and violent and kind of short sighted and ignorant to live your life that way. But who am I to not be entertained by it? You know, or at least be
Yeah.
fascinated by it. You know, like it's all kind of like it's like
Well,
black metal-y in the sense of like it's real low production. You know, like these dudes are like all holding texts like in their videos. It's wild, dude.
I mean, think about it. The '90s gangster rap that we all liked, they talked about all that stuff too. Like a lot of the New York
Right.
rappers, like they talk about all that stuff, and you know, like most of those guys actually went through that. When you're listening to it, you're like, there's no BS in some of those
100%. Yeah,
guys. You
yeah.
know that like what they're talking,
So yeah, like even like the funny thing
and
is that this is almost in
like
real time now. Like you always heard about Tupac's bringing that was rough, and he would rap about it, and like even that's kind of maybe in question. But like this is like, yo, I just fucking slid on this dude, and then you're just like, what? It's like watching it unfold in real time, and I think people like are gonna look back at
it's
this time and be like, this is fucked up, you know, like it's insane, and it's like it goes all across the country now. There's drill everywhere, and it's basically gang banger fucking hip hop, and it's hard.
so that's like the new genre of gangster
Yeah,
rap is
man. Yeah, I
drill.
think trap is kind of more. I'm not. First of all, I don't give a fuck about any of these things. You know,
Yeah.
the only reason that I care about a genre title is so I can try to express a point. So I could be wrong, but yes, drill is like the hardest hard. It's from here, like was like it was made by what was this kid named Young Top, I think it was, like the big producer or whatever. And now it's like Chief Keef is drill. He's from here. Little Dirk is from here. All those guys have gotten kind of they've all left Chicago. They moved. They're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get shot. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, so they don't even live here anymore. And everyone that stays here dies. It's wild. Dude. It's crazy, dude. And like, dude, these.
I mean, when I lived in Chicago, like I didn't really go to like you said, I had no reason to go to the South Side. The furthest I'd go to is where Chicago White Sox play. And
Yeah, I mean that's technically South Side, and that's like 35th Street. And we go by the numbers here, and it goes all the way to like 170th. So you know what I mean? Like fucking, it's barely in it, you know. Like, and like it's wild, man. Like I've driven through it at times, and it's just like fucking like RoboCop, dude. You know, or like some desolate, weird fucking future down there. And there's like trash can fires and like nothing but a liquor store and a fucking currency exchange, and a liquor store and a currency exchange, and like a Baptist church, and like people selling fit on the sidewalks, and then you come up north and it's all fucking tiki bars, and you know, like, dude, people don't even understand. It's like this town is super, super segregated to the extent that you could live here your entire lives and never see the poverty. You know, and that's the other thing too, is like all these people grow up there, they do not have opportunities, you know, at all. Like, you know, there's still lead pipes pumping water into these homes in these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, dude, these guys don't have a chance. And it's like, I'll be damned if I'm not at least gonna respect them enough to check out what they're doing. Cause like, dude, it's hard, and it's like it's real as fuck, you know, like it's so real. Like those kids live it. They literally live in a war zone. They're soldiers. It's wild. That might be the most surprising.
Man.
That I'm like this huge drill fan.
I'm actually kind of glad because, you know, like it's a whole genre of rap that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Yeah, Fredo Santana. My third is King Von, who might actually be a serial killer based on like number of people he killed. He has actually crossed the line into being hip hop's actual first serial killer. Sweet Home Chicago. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Fucking wild shit.
Yeah, dude.
It's also, mind you, him and Little Dirk and Chief Keef, who are arguably the three biggest rappers from here right now, are off in a place here called O Block, which is the Parkway Gardens, which is where Michelle Obama grew up. So there's an added little bizarreness to it, you know? It's like, wow, First Lady grew up here, and now these motherfuckers are just killing each other. It's wild. It's wild.
It's a wild world.
Yeah. There's a dude, I'll pimp this out just because I love him. He does all these like in-depth videos on YouTube, and he's like actually threatened by dudes here. He's in London. His name is Trap Lord Ross. Check out his YouTube channel, Trap Lord Ross. And yeah, he's gotten threatened by these drill rappers because they basically he does the thing of saying, well, this guy killed this guy, and all these guys are over here like the Sopranos, like allegedly. Like, don't you be allegedly? It's so wild, dude. It's insane. And like I said, God, it's just so like it's so much more just intriguing and like, yeah, look at it, cool. Like I hate some motherfuckers in music too, you know, but I'm not gonna go kill him. But I do love the idea of calling him out. You know, like I've always tried to be at least my you know, non-confrontational, super mellow stoner dude diss track. You know what I mean? Like, fuck y'all. You know, but you know, it is what it is. Like, I never miss words. I'll tell anybody. I don't care for what they're doing. If I don't bullshit people. You know, I don't want to be bullshit either. You know, but it's kind of fun. Think about that. You know,
yeah.
Guys be like, a little gangster sometimes, you know. But,
yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Do you have anything when you go on tour that you do to keep you grounded? Through the grind of it all?
So like I actually this is fucking hilarious. I am So nowadays I just smoke pot anyway. I've given up drinking and any sort of like real hard drugs or whatever like that. But like I literally used to go on tour and just be sober because not for any fucking chivalrous reason, for the record, but just because everyone in my band needs glasses and no one has them. And I was like, ain't no one driving me that night through fucking goddamn. Dude, there have been times I've driven through fucking tornadoes in Kansas. Like, it's like, no, dude, I'll drive us at night. I don't fall asleep. My dad was a trucker. I feel it in my blood, so it's like, nah, so I used to sober up every tour. And it was always awesome, like basically by the end of the tour, I'd be like, I feel great, Being home is like the most dangerous thing. I'm like the boredom of doing nothing and like, but over COVID, I kind of basically was like, I just think I'm getting older. Let's just not die in my 50s. What?
Yeah, I get that, man. Like it's funny when you're doing that grind and you're out for like 2-3 weeks, and then that first week that you come home from that, it's like hard to get your brain back
yeah, it's
into
like
that
fucking
mode.
getting out of prison. Like trying to reacclimate to the real world. Like what?
Oh, this is what real life is
Yeah,
like.
we're
Oh,
loading. Like what's? There have been times I've come up to the tour. We have a thing called vanwiches because we're so fucking clever. Where we would just buy fucking like cheese and meat and like some vegetables and put them in a cooler, and we'd always have food. It was basically a way to not have to stop as much. We're like completely
yeah.
anti-piss battle guys. You know what I mean? So we do stop for bathrooms a lot, but because of that, we're like, let's have vanwiches. So like, there'd be times you come up with tour and I'd be like, I wonder if there's any fucking smoked turkey left in the fucking cooler from tour. It's like, yeah, it's like, dude, you're at home. Like, stop eating fucking ramen out of a fucking thermos, dude. What the fuck is wrong?
Hey, whatever you got. What is your tour snack of choice? Like if you're like, all right, I gotta go piss. I'm gonna go into this gas station. What is it you're looking for?
I'm like not a fucking junk food guy. I really never have been. So I'm always the banana dude. Like the guy who walks out with like a banana and like a 2% milk. Everyone's like, "What are you, 6?" It's like, yeah, kind of, dude. Like, I'm like eating like frosted flakes and like slicing a little banana in it. It's fucking ridiculous. Everyone else is like,
hey, bananas are like the best thing you can have when you're on the road. That potassium helps
almonds.
you out.
That's the other thing too. Is that like I feel like we got robbed. Our generation of bands, dude. It's like, hold the fucking phone. You know what I mean? Like, if either of our bands were in the 80s, we would be on buses, 100%. No doubt about it. Like, every one of us got a bus, right? So, that's fucking some bullshit. Like, I would love to have an all vodka fucking diet, and like just be driven around in a fucking bus for a fucking month. You know what I mean? That'd been awesome. Never had that kind of fucking shit. Like I needed to like sit there and be like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna eat almonds and bananas and, healthy shit because I need actual energy and I can't do fucking an 8-ball of Coke and then go on stage for 2.5 hours. I'm going to do I'm going to do an 8-ball of Coke and go on stage for 35 minutes and then sit there like I got electrocuted for the next 4 hours. It doesn't work this. I got to drive, man. Like, it's not very fun, So I kind of got over like all of the like, that kind of stuff pretty early on. It's like, I guess I'm going to be the nighttime driver and I'm eating healthy. Black coffee, cigarette, it's real trucker of me.
Trucker life.
Let's get her done.
Get hey, someone's got to be that guy in the band. Someone has to step up and.
There was a time, dude. Like I remember we were in Kansas City, and it was actually all wound up getting worked out eventually. By the time our fucking merch guy quit, he was from Kansas City, and he took all of our money with him. And he was like, and I'm sitting there and I remember it was like the first time we were going past Kansas City West. And I remember like, I'll never forget who it was. One of them, using my band goes, all right, fearless leader, what do we do? And I was just like, fuck. I never wanted to be the leader. Like I just wanted to fucking be in a band. I didn't want to fucking be the guy everyone looks to at the time of this, like, no one ever fucking told me I had to be fucking Han Solo. You know what I mean? Like fucking bullshit, like, so
Yeah.
Since then it's like, well, I guess I'm the guy. And it's fine. It's fine. I've always kept I've always had dogs and shit too at home to keep me fucking responsible. It's like, oh, better go home. Can't stay out all night. Shit like that. So, it's that guy. It works for my lifestyle, I think, and it's fine. I like being that guy actually. So, yeah.
And it gets easier the older you get.
Well,
too,
yeah.
right?
Now I'm over here just being like, God, I hate everyone who's drunk. Get the fuck away from me. Like, God, was I ever this fucking obnoxious? That's how I feel a lot. Every time I go to a show, I'm always like, ugh. I just
Why am I here right
wasn't
now?
I this annoying when I had 6 beers or not? You know what I mean? Like, leave me the fuck. The amount of people that try to talk to me during a show that I'm like at to see, and I have to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I didn't come to see a band. I'll talk to you. Shocking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, talk to me when bands are done.
yeah,
Come on,
I'll
man.
be here. You'll be here. It'll be boring. I'm not trying to yell at you. Like I'm trying to sing along to fucking old Poison the Well songs like it's fucking, 2004 or something right now, guys. Like, leave me alone.
Oh, did you go to that recent reunite?
They were great,
Were they
man.
good?
I saw them 2 nights in a row. They played Metro, which is like an 1,100 cap venue, and then they played Cobra Lounge, which you've played before, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
back to back, I
Yeah.
went to both nights. They played the same set, which I thought was whack as fuck. But whatever, they were great. They were great. Actually, it's like the last.
Did they play like?
No, I was just saying.
Go
Like,
ahead.
well, what were you gonna say? This is more pertaining to it.
I was going to say that they play mostly like Opposite of December and
No,
Tears
dude,
of the Red.
all over.
Or
Tropic Rock. I love that band to death. Actually, Jeff was like my neighbor for like 2 years, which is weird. He lives here, oddly enough. Like, we'd see him out all the time and hang out. He was all right, dude. It was like kind of all over. It was like a greatest hits set. They did like Nerdy and Botsula and like, all the good stuff. They were awesome. It's funny though, like
Tropic Rock
underrated.
Tropic Rock's an underrated.
I think
underrated
Versions
album.
is my favorite. Yeah, Versions.
Really? I'll have to go back and check
and like
that one
when
out
they
again.
did the Tropic Rock, they did 3 singles or EPs. Like of unreleased tracks. Like 2 or I think they were 7 inches, maybe.
Oh yeah,
inches, right? Maybe with 2 tracks apiece.
Yeah, I think they did.
Those songs are fucking awesome. They played some of those actually. It's funny because like the last like I don't do as many shows as I used to, just simply because I've been just kind of honestly. But the last like 5 shows I've gone to were like Botch, Poison the Well, Dillinger Escape Play with Dimitri. And I was like, what year is it?
Yeah, 1999
yeah, it's like
all
I'm
over
a junior
again.
in school, all over. What the fuck just happened? It's like the funny thing is that like I've been going with various people and like obviously all my friends are like let's get our age, so it's like they all knew this. It's like, dude, I saw this band Fireside Bowl with 7 other people. Now they're selling out 2 nights in a 1,000 cap room for $50 a ticket. Well, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But it goes to show you. Sometimes you gotta quit, man. Shit works. It works.
It really does. It really does. Yeah, actually, yeah. Destroyer, like we're on hiatus right now, and we joked. It's like, all right, let's go on
6 years,
hiatus.
dude.
See if
6
people
years, dude. I'm telling you, he hasn't come back. Years everyone's gonna be like, fuck yeah, you're back. I'm so glad I missed you guys. It's like, you ever see us before? Like, it's fucking hilarious how that goes too. It's like, dude, yeah, it's wild, man. It's fun. It's fun though, This is like really fucking hilarious dude who like I've been trying to get to mentor me as a comedian. He's from here. His name is Michael Myers, which was already like a hilarious fucking like that's your real legal name, and you're a comedian. It's because that's the only thing you could possibly do. Be a serial killer or be a comedian with that fucking name. Because like it's one or the other. And it was funny because like he was hanging out there at this pizza place I owned for a minute, invested in for a minute or whatever. They would have a comedy night, and he was apparently wasted at the end of the night one night, ranting about the best band like to ever do heavy metal and psychedelic together was this band we were called the Atlas Moth, and like everyone there was like, do you know who fucking invests in this bar? Like, are you aware? Like, the fuck? Do you know Stavros? He comes in here all the time, like. And I wound up going to meet this dude, and he was just like, I never got to see you guys. You know, I was just like, how are you making claims like that? You never even saw us live. Like, it's fucking, that's like some shit where it's like, hey, come to our town. And then, like, when you go there, like, where are you? You know, like, what the fuck? I couldn't make it.
No,
Okay.
yeah. My favorite one is when you announce that you're playing this town, and then the next day you announce you're playing the other town, and then the person from that town's like, "Oh, you guys are in town?"
It's like, what the fuck? Like, no.
And then you have your cover photo as the tour dates. It's in your it's like
It's like one thing to like not be like, oh, you came to town. Like, I wish you had told me. Because like, I'm pretty out of it too. I'm in my fucking 40s. I don't, I try to keep up as best as possible. But like, it's one thing to sit there and be commenting on a motherfucker's Facebook where you have all that shit listed. That's fucking ridiculous. And it's
I was going.
yeah, it's like, dude, I'm never coming back now. Like, I'm never coming back.
Look at this guy. Look
you
at this
South
guy.
Carolina. Like, I ain't ever coming back. Like, y'all have done me dirty too many times. Like, oh yeah, sorry, dude. Like, fucking, I couldn't get off of work that day. I took off of work when I had jobs all the time to go see bands. Call in. I'm sick. I want to go see Slayer. Like, I'm gonna go to work tonight. I hurt my ankle. Like, fuck you. Like, call into work. Do what I did. Stop being so fucking responsible, children. Blow off some responsibilities. Go see Rock Band play your town.
Who cares about your rent? Who cares about your mortgage? Who cares about?
I'm the one on tour not caring about that shit. All right. So, you'll be fine.
Right? I'm sacrificing everything.
I live with my sister in an attic nowadays just because I've sacrificed my time. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Fuck these children. Yeah, fuck.
That's right. Well, hey, man, it's been great talking to you.
I'm so glad to see your face.
Thank you for hopping on. Yeah, me too. It's like, man, when's the last time I saw your face? Probably like 2016
Dude,
or
I had
17
so much less gray in my beard. It's fucking awful. I'm actually even thinking of starting to dye my beard, but I don't know if I'm ready to go down that route. You know what I mean?
No, don't do it, man. Just be the silver fox, man. Just go for it.
I got a really hot girlfriend that's really pushing for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't let her know this. All right. But I'm way dating above my pay grade. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. Like, I've done so good. And she's all like, I think you should maybe do that. You're too young to have gray your beard. I'm like, all right. But here I am with gray in my beard. So I haven't quite broken yet. We'll see how it goes. I'm always the person that get done.
Yeah, my goatee. And my goatee's got a little gray.
Yeah, you look good though. You look like a cowboy. You know what I mean? You have the whole thing going on.
Living down here in Texas long enough, it's already kind of,
it's like seeping in,
taking over me.
You know what I mean? Like, do you have spurs yet?
Yeah.
That's like the real test.
I don't. That's the one thing I haven't. I just cannot break myself to do it. Yet.
I think I'd go spurs first. Or do you never go spurs first?
I feel like you have to. I feel like you have to live here long enough before you go to Spurs. I mean, like, I've been here 13
you don't think
years
that's
now.
Spur territory?
So that is definitely Spur territory. I'm just being too humble about it, I guess. Oh,
humble, yeah.
Humble.
See, I'm just worried about going fucking full Santa Claus. Like, I don't want to wake up one day and be
I
sick.
get that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a fucking, like, I've been told I look like, like Charlie Day at some points in my life or someone else. I'm like, that's pretty good. Like, there are people out there that's like, you look like fucking Danny DeVito, and you're just like, like,
you're like, oh, I might as well just skim.
If someone told me I look like Danny DeVito, I'd just like, oh, like, there'd be nothing to hold on to. Like, like, I would be eating fucking pepperoni pizza every day and nothing but full sugar fucking Coca-Cola. Like, what's the point? I look like fucking Danny DeVito.
You're like, yeah.
Not going to the gym today, folks. Like, I look like Danny DeVito. And I think Santa Claus is like, I've reached the nexus of life now. And also, like, Santa Claus is kind of on that list of one of those ones you don't want to look like.
Well, yeah, because then you've reached the ultimate, like, okay, I'm old and fat now.
Like, we're done. Like, it's over with for me. Like awful.
I'll just, like you said, drink Coca-Cola, eat
Yeah,
Pizza Hut
hang out with
pizza.
polar bears. I guess you could add if you're fucking
Skiva-
Santa, right? Something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready for it. But I'm still trying to be like, I'm still trying to get that. You know, you look like Elvis. I'm like, hell yeah.
You
I
can get
I think
there
I can.
if there's some
As long
will,
as it's not
there's
like,
a
you know what, you
way.
look like Elvis in the late 70s, right before he died on the toilet. And then it's,
Then you're like, okay, I'm eating peanut butter and banana
so
sandwiches.
no change to my diet.
Fuck it.
We're just getting it's straight regular. No big deal.
That's right. Peanut butter banana.
I'm sure. Fry with some butter. We'll be fine. No big deal.
Do you have any last statements you'd like to say to the people who watch this?
Yeah. Hey, I'm on tour at the end of May with Oriska, who is members of Battlefields. They are fucking awesome. And then we're gonna be out on tour with our friends in Royal Thunder, who are always fucking great. We're playing Prepare the Ground Fest. We're playing Mutants of the Monster Fest in Little Rock with fucking Wake, one of the greatest bands of all time.
Man, yeah, another band that came
They're
back.
one of the greatest of all time, if you ask me. They were a very big influence on me. Starting the Atlas Moth.
I agree.
They were fucking
100.
awesome. They always have been. And then I got Motherless. I'm playing Forever Death Fest here, March 28th with Tomb Sentinel. And I got a record for them coming out September 5th. And hopefully we'll start writing a new record for Atlas Moth at the end of the year. I think that's about it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Pretty good year. Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on and getting me updated technology-wise.
Hey, that's what we're here for. It's 2025.
If you
Let's
say
go.
so. I think it's 2022 still. So
actually, it's 1950. No, it's 1945, right?
Yeah, but wasn't that the end of the war? I think the war is just beginning. Isn't it 1938 or something? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
1938. 1938. Sorry, my history. I got to go back and watch. I have to go back and watch the History
on Sundays. Again. You know? Oh, I'm going to make this a new disclaimer from now on as soon as I sign off. I did not vote for Donald Trump. Not once, not twice.
Okay.
Never. Just throwing that out there. I am an ally. That's probably do. That's gonna be my new sign off for all interviews I do from now on, so everyone knows exactly that I didn't vote for that fucking piece of shit.
And I will let people know that.
Appreciate it.